Welcome guys, today we have another guide for Delirium. Today we'll be looking at the end game of the Delirium mechanics and what are the best farms for those and how do we run them into more efficiency and less death. So right away I will show you guys some of the loots I have found in the Delirium. So we can see starting from Alchemy Shard, this Chaos Shard, Chaos Orbs, Angel Orbs and even possible Exalted Orbs, that's right. And after that, the other possible found we can find is Clear Oil and also the Blighter maps. Lastly, we can find some of the simulacrums, the splinters, which requires 300, and also the singular Delirium orbs. The orbs can vary, and this one I do believe sells for at least 5 or 6 chaos, sometimes even 10 chaos. Some of the other orbs I've sold for 1, 2, 5, 6 chaos, so those are okay. So right away, what is the best farm for Delirium? You can see that each time you fight the Delirium, there is an icon showing you what are you farming in this Delirium. There is the currency ones, which is ideally slightly above average. I call the currency ones above average because they have possibility of dropping the Chaos Orb. I haven't dropped anything above the Chaos Orb yet, and the Engine Orb and the Exalted Orb is not dropped from the normal currency gears, the currency Delirium. The ones that was dropping was actually from a Harbinger Delirium. So if you look at the icon, when the Harbinger icon comes up, which I'm still looking for the replay, I have a replay but I can't find it, it's too many replays, but there is a Harbinger icon. Once you get the Harbinger icon, when you are farming, you'll be getting the shards, you'll be getting more currencies, and possibly very high chance of getting one of the red currencies. So one time I found Angel Orb, the other time it's possible to find Exalted Orb. So keep that in mind, the Harbinger is the best one. And after that, with Delirium, the second best one I find is definitely going to be the Blighted maps. The Blighted icon is where you see a little tree like a yellow orb, where the Caesar tree, the Sister Caesar, where you have the Blighted little yellow tree. And when you have the Blighted ones, you usually will find a bunch of oils, and it's possible to find Blighted maps. And depending on the level of the the tier of maps you're doing, you can find anywhere from tier 1 to tier 16 possible. So Blighted map goes in 3 stages. So tier 1 to 5, tier 6 to 10, and then tier 11 to 15. So it's possible to find high tier ones. I've found the lower tier ones currently, been running about tier 1 to 6 maps at the moment. Lastly, it is a random drop with the simulacrum and also the Delirium orbs, but there is a monster that actually has an icon on the minimap. So if you're running around, all of a sudden you see a special icon, I believe it's a bit of red colorish icon, and that icon actually chases you. The monster is here to try to kill you. The monster is quite large, and it hits very hard. It has a bit of shield, and it's usually quite strong takedown. But if you take it down, it's guaranteed to drop at least one of the splinter, and some of the times it will drop one of the Delirium orbs. So keep that in mind, and the monster will take a few seconds to take it down. Now let's go into the mechanics of Delirium with the mirrors. So if I look here, I'm looking at a replay that I found during my recording on the stream. And yes, I have made a video earlier about Delirium with a few basic guides. Now with hours of gameplay and being level 84 a little deeper into the end game, there's more insights and knowledge with Delirium. Let's have a look at this one. So I'm running around with my zombie summoning squad, and the moment I actually trigger the mirror, what's going to happen is fog is going to spread across the map. As the frog spreads, the point of contact with the mirror, this is the last point you want to be. You want to be anywhere away from this point because the timer actually starts ticking if you're not in the fog. Initially, I thought it was about killing monsters. Now I realized killing monsters will give you basically the additional rewards, but they will not extend the time. You have to kill the monsters in the fog. It doesn't matter if you're killing monsters that's outside of the fog, because when the countdown starts, that means you're not in the fog. Let's have a look. So what I mean by the fog is, notice the fog is spreading, and at the moment I got a large cluster draw, which is very nice. Keep an eye for those, because large cluster, they can be very useful, which I'll show you guys in another guide. So notice I'm trying to push further with the map, and I'm also trying to click other things as I go. So there is always a bit of cloud here, and the fog here means I want to get as away as possible from my current contact of the mirror. So keep pushing and kill as many monsters as you can. Initially I thought about clicking and popping those balloons, those white things. You can do that, but you will lose a bit of health when touching them. And those monsters, they don't give the best value for popping them. So here I'm still pushing further. Now at this stage, notice I'm at the end of the map pretty much. So now this is the furthest extent I can extend with Delirium, with the particular fog. Now anywhere I travel will likely to be not as far as from this. So what I want to do is I want to run around, try to kill as many units as I can now before the fog actually gets to the end of the map. At the same time, the monsters do feel harder the deeper you go. So this seems to be hitting harder and seems to be one-shotting me a lot of the times, because at the moment I'm in one of the end maps with, not end maps, I'm in one of the stories with only 1600 HP for this particular campaign, for this particular story, and the monster do hit very hard. Keep that in mind. And what happens when you die? Let's have a look. When you die, you'll be teleported to the start of the dungeon, or basically the entry. And if you're at the entry, depending on the distance between you and the contact point of the mirror, the delirium mirror, you actually may be able to keep extending your fight, because the mirror can be very far away and the cloud, the fog, is actually spreading into you. That means you can revive, you can keep fighting, and this won't take away your count of rewards. But if your starting point is very close to the mirror contact, then you'll actually be out of fog. If you're out of fog, you have 5 seconds to get back into the fog to continue your farm. But if you don't get back into it, you'll get your reward. So let's have a look. So here, I realize I'm at the far end of the point. I'm trying to kill as many monsters again, and sometimes I do overextend myself. And there you go. I was slightly distracted. I was slightly distracted by that chaos orb over there. I was like, I want to grab it, and I was out of CD, and notice that there is a lot of explosion in Delirium. So monsters can have explosions. You can have even the Cyrus effect with a light laser hitting you for like a chunk of chaos damage, I feel. And they hit very hard. So you want to keep moving and be mobile. Here I got stuck here because those are things gonna do your damage, and I got stuck here. I was trying to get to the chaos orb and I can't get through there. And yeah, I died here. And after dying, what I want to show you guys is you have 4 or 5 seconds from the starting point to get into the fog. Notice I'm no longer in the fog. That's where the countdown starts. And if you can't get back into the fog, well, you won't be able to continue. Unfortunately, I was on 4 reward and I did not get anything, particular. But I did get 1 chaos orb. So one thing to keep in mind is the reward system. The average reward or below average reward is the box. For me, the box is kind of acceptable. I'm happy to farm it, and if I'm not, beyond level 84, 83, I don't have to worry about death because I get XP very quickly. But there are other type of deliriums which you might not want to trigger. So those are the ones, I guess, the weapon ones, the ring ones, the armor ones, or the not so useful coin ones. And for those, if I'm actually scared of losing my XP by dying, I'm actually going to manually stopping it after getting 1 or 2 rewards, sometimes even 1. Because if you go into the end game, if you go to Zana, and with the Zana maps, sometimes he requires you to not die. You go into the Zana missions, if you die, you get teleported out and you don't get anything. So keep that in mind. The best ones are definitely the Harbinger ones. The currency ones are slightly above average, and there is the Blighter ones are the best ones for me so far. And been getting, some really good rewards, as you can see at the start of the video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deeper insights to the end game of Delirium. I will actually make a few more guides showing you guys, the type of Deliriums, and just a few insights of what you should be, how you should be fighting them, and what are the ones that can kill you instantly. Yes, there's one thing I forgot to mention with Delirium. So you could actually modify the boss monsters, but keep in mind the boss monsters should be ideally on the further end of the map. And if you modify the boss monsters, they do have a better chance of actually dropping the splinters and also the Delirium orb, which can be worth quite a few currency, at least quite a few chaos. So what you want to do is you want to see the mirror, and if you have the time, this is depending on if you find the time efficient. If you have the time, calculate the distance between you and the boss room, and it will take the time to kill the boss. So usually looking at the map, if you're really far away from the boss room and you touch the mirror, it's actually not bad, because this gives you more time because the fog is going to spread slowly towards the boss room and deplete slower. But if you're very close to the boss room, then you might not be able to kill the boss. And sometimes killing the boss might not give you the best reward for Delirium itself, because you would not boost that further. But what's great is you can combine Delirium with the splinters, with the the timeless morph, and also one of my favorite is combine the Delirium with also the Blighter map. So if Blighter map is very far away from the mirror, and I contact the mirror first and run into the Blighter map, I'm gonna activate my sister Sister Scissor, and it takes 20 seconds, right? So you see 2 countdown on the screen. And the best thing is, after the 20 seconds, if you're still in the fog and the monsters are in the fog, keep in mind the monsters has to be in the fog to get rewards. And then if you start killing them, you actually get 3 or 4 bars of your actual reward. I was on 1 currency reward. After killing the blighted units, I was on 4 and 5 currency reward. And that's how I got a few of the Chaos Orb, and sometimes, you know, something better depending on the Delirium reward itself. So for me personally, Time Morph, Splinters are not bad, but Blighter maps are the best ones if I get a chance, because the monsters get summoned in the map in packs, and those pack of monsters, while in the fog, they give a lot of Delirium reward. So it's like a double benefit. I'm killing the monsters for Blighter oils and also Blighter maps. I'm also killing them for my additional Blighter reward. One small trick is, keep in mind, if you're having trouble to kill those monsters, or if they're killing you too many times, you can manually stop it. So notice where my mouse is, on top of the shop icon, there is a fast forward button. You can manually stop it. So if it gets too much and you can't handle it, you're just getting killed multiple times by Reflect and anything else that kills you, you can manually stop it. So yeah, I thought I'd add this one for you guys, because any insights I think of, I'll try to add it into the videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.